Hello, so this question is exam room. Is pretty tricky. So you want to assign a student in the room where they can sit the maximum distance between any two guy, right? So if there are multiple such seats are available, they want to sit with the lowest number, which is closest to zero. And if there's no one in the room, you're starting with number zero, which is index zero. So, okay. So let me just quickly go through the example one. So I have 10 spot and I starting with index zero. All right. So again, there's no one in the room. So I'm sitting right here. And then the next one comes in, is going to sit right here. And then next one comes in is either 4 or 5. But again, I doesn't matter like which one you sit, so I'm gonna sit right here. So the next one, oh, did I erase so fast? Yes. So this is P1, P2, P3, and then this is P4, right? So supposedly like P4 should sit, mm, I mean, it's either here or here, right? So let's think about this. If a person sit with index 2, the distance between P1 and P3 is 1, right? If a person sit with index 6, the P4. The index between them is, the distance is either 1 or 2. And then if you do the same thing for 7, if a person sit with index 7, and then the distance between the neighbor is 2 or 1. So again, like in this case, we take the smallest value possible. So and then they are represent what multiple seats available. You want to pick the smallest one, so that's why we pick index 2. So let's see. So let's see, we pick index 2 with the person 4, and then someone leave, which is P3, right? So at this moment, the distance here are available, right? You want to pick the middle one, and then you will remain 5. Okay, so this is the idea, right? So what we should do is, let me do it again. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what you should do is this. We need to calculate what is the current interval. The interval you have interval, right? Interval you have, starting and ending. Starting and ending. And every single interval you also want to calculate the distance. So again, the room is going to be empty, right? The room is going to be empty by default. We want to sit at index 0. So we were using a -1 trick. So -1 comma n -1 as a starting, n as an ending. In this one, it's going to be -110. -110. So I know this is the whole entire available room available seat in the room, right? So if I see, oh, this is -1, I know this. This person needs to sit in this 0, right? So when I use the first spot, right? Then this -1 no longer exists, and then it should be what? It should be starting with what index 0, right? Sorry, yeah, the interval start will be 0 to 10. So if next person comes in and I'm checking the starting and ending index, if this is 10, I know this this should be the last person. The last seat in the room. So you're going to hard code it, like technically is the detection. Like you want to know who is going to sit in the first, who is going to sit in the last. So once you know all these things, and then you update your interval. So this is not 10. 10 is no longer exists. So what you should do is you want to know, 0 and 9. So when you are looking at this interval, you actually exclude 0 and 9. So the remaining variables is 1 to 8, right? So the next person comes in. So it's going to be 9 plus 0 divided by 2, right? So this will return 4. So this will be the person who sit right here. Okay. So in this case, we have the interval, right? So think about interval right here, right here. Okay, so this will be it, right? And then the next person comes in. So it's going to calculate, what is the interval you have. So when I take over this spot, this will result 0 to 4, 4 to 9. All right. You want to exclude, the starting and ending index, right? So in this case, it is going to be calculated difference distance. So it's 4 plus 0 divided by 2 is remain 2. 9, um, 9 plus, wait, sorry. This is 9 plus 4 is 13. Divided by 2 is 6. So it's either 2 or 6, right? 2 or 6. And you want to calculate the distance. So again, the distance between this is 1 and 1, and this is 1 and 2. So you want to pick the lowest one since you want to take the smallest, the smallest gap, and then you compare with the index. If this is the smallest one, then you pick smallest one. So yeah, so this is why we don't take 6. So once we take over 2, we assign to P4 right here. And then the available interval right here will be this. And this will be a remain, right? So this is so now is a problem. If someone leave the P3 leave, so what we should do is this was the original interval in the queue. We need to delete those two and then create another one that has the accurate starting and ending. And then once that update, this is supposed to be the right interval. So when someone comes in, I know I would have to take the largest. I mean, I would have to take take the spot with the largest interval, right? Which is the distance. All right. So yeah, it is pretty hard to explain, but let me start coding. So we need to have an interval, so class interval. So we will have the start, we will have the end, and also we will have the distance. All right, so I'm gonna declare interval uh, constructor. So this dot star is equal to star, and then this dot n is equal to m, and then if star is equal to -1, and I will say this dot distance is equal to n, and then else if n is equal to uh, n is equal to n. So how do I know the n? The n is going to be represent this one, right? So it would be better if I put into this class. So I'm gonna in m. So if this is true, then I want to, literally taking the, so this distance will literally using the n minus 1 minus star. So -1 is going to be represent the base index 0, and the star is represent whatever you assign in the beginning, and then the last one is going to be divided by 2, right? The least distance. Okay, in this case, pretty straightforward. Distance is using the minus. It's tell you like what is the distance apart between two students. So now let's come with the priority exam room. So it's going to be represent priority queue. The priority queue. So I'm taking the interval into the priority queue, and I will construct the priority queue in here. So I'm gonna assign my list n equal to n, and my priority queue will resort based on the distance. So it's sorted by the distance, not by by not by star, not by n. So new priority queue a comma b. So if a and b distance are the same, you want to start with the lowest number. A dot distance is equal to b dot distance. Then you want to start with the lowest number, so it has to be starting. So it's gonna be a star minus b star. That's why you want to take with the largest value, so it's gonna be b dot distance minus a dot distance. Okay, so ending, and then now I need to initialize the default value, so it's going to be pq dot offer the new interval. Then I was starting with -1 and n. So this is pretty straightforward for constructor, right? So yeah. If n can be defined somewhere in the class, that would be fine. But I mean, this is pretty much how I design right here. So sit. So let's talk about the sit. So if in sit by default it's going to be 0, and then I already have -1 and n, so I'm going to say interval is equal to pq dot poll. And I'm going to check with my interval dot star. If I have -1, then I know it's going to be a first one, so sit at 0. And then if my ending is equal to n, so this is starting, this is ending, right? And then I know my sit will be n minus 1. Like sitting on the last one, so this is 10, so the person will sit with 9, right? And then the last is going to be in the middle, right? So sit is equal to, so interval dot star plus interval dot n divided by 2. So this is going to be the index, not the distance. The distance you're using a minus to calculate the difference. The distance apart to student, and this is going to tell you the index where you sit in the room in a 1D array, right? And then once I have this, right, I basically need to add my interval into the array, sorry, in the priority queue. So new interval. So it's going to be start with the interval dot star, and then comma sit, and pq dot offer, and this will be exactly the same. So sit and then interval dot n. So if you want to notice that this is going to be exclude. It's going to exclude this one and this one because someone has already taken. So who is taken? The sit, right? So that is why you want to give it like this. And then when you leave, so if you still remember when you leave, so imagine you sit at 4, and then when you leave, you want to technically remove this one. So if you are removing 4, right? The person who left is 4. You want to remove the closest interval and then create a new one. And how do we find it? We have to traverse. So for interval and then interval PQ. So this is a necessary step. We have to traverse, but how do we know we found it or not? We need to have a check, right? So from left and from left, from right, sorry. And then we need to know which interval we found, right? So left, by default is no. Okay, so think about this. We already know who taking the spot, right? So we just want to say, So we want to take this. So 4 is leaving, right? So we already have interval right here. This is gonna be left, this is gonna be right. So on the right interval, you want to find out the star. So if right dot star is equal to 4 and left dot n is equal to 4, you want to, you know, mark, and then you want to remove these two and then create another one which is left plus r, which is going to be using the left dot star and right dot n. So if interval dot star is equal to p, right? So it's going to be represented right? So right equal to interval. And also I want to mark this equal to true. And then this will be similar to the left. So if interval dot n is equal to p, the left is equal to interval and found left is equal to true. So once I found these two, found right, found left, I don't have to continue, right? So I can break it. So I can break the for loop. So once I break, I'm gonna remove pq dot remove the left and the right. And internal flat, I need to add the interval back. So pq dot offer new interval. So left dot start and then right dot end. So this will give you back the correct interval. And then again, this is exclude because someone has taken a spot. Okay. Alright, so let's talk about time and space. In this one, this is constant, right? So in this one, this is going to be unlog and this is going to be constant. So this will be result olefin, right? And then if you found it, then yeah, this is olefin, and this will be olefin remove, right? You want to find out what is your left, which is the address of the PQ. So olefin to traverse to find the interval and then remove. So olefin, and the add is login. So offer is login, right? So the worst case is gonna be this, the sorting. So again, the time can be unlogin, and the space is going to be olefin. Right, you add every single interval into the into PQ and not removing anything. So okay, that's a solution. Right, see you.